Good evening everyone. My name is Karthik. I am studying in Mitsubishi Institute of Technology third year. Today I am here to answer some of the Node.js interview questions. The first question is what is Node.js and how does it differ from other server-side technologies like Apache and PHP. Firstly, Node.js is a server-side runtime environment which is used to run JavaScript code using Wait engine. Nextly, it enhances efficiency and scalability. Next, it employs non-blocking I/O operations. Next, it uses JavaScript code for both client-side and server-side client-side and server-side technologies. Nextly, Apache model manages multiple connections with multiple threads, which means each connection is associated with a single thread. And in PHP, it is synchronous and blocking, which means each connection is associated with a single thread. And coming to Node.js is non-blocking and asynchronous, which means it manages multiple connections on a single thread. That means multiple connections can be associated with a single thread. In a Node.js, we can also use the concept of APIs to retrieve data from the API keys which are present online. Online data we can retrieve using a Node.js, and Node.js is one of the extension of the JavaScript. It is very useful for designing websites along with Express.js and Firebase for database storage. This is all about Node.js. The second question is what is callback function in Node.js and why are they commonly used in asynchronous programming? Callback function is a function used in Node.js in which it is passed as a parameter in the other function, and it is evaluated after the completion of an operation. Callback functions are useful in Node.js. Callback Callback functions are used in handling asynchronous operations such as I/O tasks without blocking the execution of the program. Next, allows Node.js to perform a blocking I/O operation. It enables handling multiple operations concurrently without waiting for previous operations to complete. It helps in organizing asynchronous code in a readable and structured manner. Some of the functions, callback functions used in Node.js are fs.read file, etc., database queries, and network requests, etc. This is all about callback functions and their functions in asynchronous programming. Coming to the third question is what is the purpose of the package.json file in node.js project? Can you explain the key properties found in the file? Firstly, package.json file is the important file for a project while we are doing in node.js. It provides the metadata of the project, which is very important, which includes the dependencies, versions, etc. The as I mentioned in the question, key properties found in this file are name, version, description, main, scripts, dev dependencies, and many more, etc. Name means it specifies the name of the project. Version means it indicates the current version of the project. Dependencies means it involves all the attributes which are required for the project for building. Description means it provides the brief description of the project. Nextly, main, which specifies the entry point file in an application. That means in an application it consists a lot of files, and it main specifies the main entry point file. Next, scripts. It contains some script words. It contains some script commands that can be run by using npm run script name. Next we can move on to the fourth question. The fourth question is explain the difference between require and import statements in Node.js. When and why would you use one over the other? The difference between a require and import statements in Node.js are require means it is a common JS command, and import means it is a ES command system. Requires syntax is const module equal to require of something module. Import means import module from other module name. Nextly, require is a common JS module system, and import is a ES6 module system. require it is available in all versions of Node.js by default. But when compared to import mm, uh, we ne- uh, we need Node.js 12 plus version with type module in the package.json for using import. We can use require conditionally or inside functions, but we can only uh, use at the top of the level, and it cannot be used conditionally. Import require synchronously load modules and import asynchronously loads modules means require when we run the command npm install some module name, it synchronously loads the module. But when we use the import command, means import module from other module, it asynchronously means without any synchronous it import the modules. In Node.js, require is a very important keyword, or require is very important a keyword which is used to import or install an module, and it is used in existing Node.js environment or ecosystem. Import is used in modern JavaScript practices. Coming to the fifth question, what is middleware in the context of Express.js? Can you give an example of how you would use middleware in an Express application? The answer for this is middleware is an Express.js is a function that processes requests and responses and has access to request object, response object, and the next middleware function. In middleware functions has three arguments: request, response, next. The purpose of the middleware it is used to perform operations like logs, etc., and handling errors and many more. The main purpose of a middleware in Node.js is to perform operations like logging and handling errors. Nextly, there are built-in middleware, third-party middleware, and custom middleware. For example, in built-in middleware, we will include express.json, and for third-party middleware, we will include Morgan for logging and custom middleware. Next, it's execution flow. Middleware functions. Um, Middleware functions are functions which execute very sequentially in the order they are defined in the application. The next function is used to pass control to the next middleware function, which means we will write the code app.get something request response something. Then we will get when we implies next, then it passes the control to the next middleware function. And if next is not called, the request will be hanging, not left hanging. For example, if we consider an example, in the previous question we have discussed about require and import. Firstly, const express equal to require of express, const app equal to express. Nextly, when we actually use the middleware arguments like request response next, the code will be app.use of request response next console.log something statement of next. Nextly, error handling middleware. It is a special middleware handling for handling errors. It is defined with four arguments: error, next, request, response. Next, the basic code for this middleware function is app.use of error, request, response next implies console.error of something and the code remaining code. This is the brief explanation of the middleware functions. The middleware functions are the functions which are used for the um, request and response and the processing of request to the next middleware function. Without these middleware functions, the request cannot be processed from one function to other function. Without processing the request, the application cannot be run or built in an efficient manner. The next question is, what is RESTful API and how can you create one using Node.js and Express.js? Explain the main HTTP methods used in RESTful APIs. RESTful API is one of the important architectural design for uh, RESTful API is one of the important API architectural design for designing networked applications by using HTTP methods to perform CRUD operations. CRUD operations. Um, the full form of RESTful API is REST means representational state transfer, and API means application programming interface. And nextly, RESTful APIs follows principles such as statelessness, client-server separation, uniform interface, and resource identification via URLs. Some of the HTTP methods are get, post, put, delete. Get means it retrieves the data from the server. Put means it adds the resources for the server. So delete means it deletes the resources from the server. And nextly, post means create new resources to the server. Put means it updates the resources present in the server. For example, if we write get users, then it will retrieve the users database from the server. If we write the command put users, it create new users. If we write post users, it create new users. Put means it updates the users, and delete means it deleted the users from the existing server. Nextly, we can also set up the project, that means initialize the Node.js project and install Express, and then we can create a basic server. It is also one of the HTTP method. Nextly, we should define routes for all the HTTP methods such as get route, put route, post route, and delete route. Without these routes, these HTTP methods cannot work, and at last we need to run the server. After running the server, our application built with the RESTful API will be. The next question is, what is the purpose of the Node Package Manager (NPM), and how do you use it to manage dependencies in Node.js project? The purpose of Node Package Manager is NPM is used to manage and install packages from the libraries and frameworks. Means, for example, as I said before, require and import are the important keywords used in Node.js. Using require, we will mention what are the requirements for the project. If we mention const module equal to require of module, that module will be installed by using this Node Package Manager. Means npm install that module name. Will this command helps us to install that module. And dependency management, it facilitates the addition, updating, and removal of project dependencies. We can use npm to manage for managing dependencies. uh, Firstly, we need to initialize a project and create a package.json file by using the command npm init space -y. Next, we need to install dependencies. Npm install dependency name. Next, we need to save the dependencies. Next, we need to install dev dependencies by using the command npm install package name -save -dev. Next, we need to update the package name. That means npm update package name. Then we need to remove dependencies. That means npm uninstall package name. Then we need to global installation, means installation of the dependencies globally. That means npm install -g mentions here global package name, running scripts. We need to run the scripts. Npm run script name. These are the some of the npm. These are some of the npm usages to manage dependencies. These dependencies are present in package.json file. Package.json file is very important. As I said before, it is used to, it describes the metadata of the project. The last question is, why it is important to use hashed passwords in web application. Hashed passwords is one of the main important feature for any web application, because it provides user privacy. Without hash, if the password is not hashed, means it is public to everyone, then his or her account can be hacked easily by the hackers, or their privacy can be breached by any hacking systems. And it is based hashed passwords provides the trust on us, on our application, on our project makers. And it is mainly used for compliance and prevention of the data breaches. It is also used for data protection. Means hash password cannot be hacked, and it provides the more security for the stored data. So by using hash password, the content of the user can be very private and very safe, and can be trustworthy for the application. So these are the some of the important questions of Node.js.